Alright. Hopefully it's the final cut. Keep getting interrupted. And the first cut was perfect. The first cut, almost perfect, actually. And then, and then I forgot to mention some books. Like, I forgot to mention, oh, this book collects these issues. And it was just very incomplete, too. I kept getting distracted, not distracted, but I kept going off on tangents too. Somewhere, like understandable. And I'm going to go off on tangents here and there for one book, two books technically. I'm not going to just show off the book and say this book is this book, it collects these, and it's by this guy. No, I like to talk about a little bit more of the books. I just be like, in that case, I might as well just take a picture of them and show them on Instagram and not do a video. I might start doing both. I might start taking a picture of them on Instagram and showing them off, and then doing the video. But for now, let's do the video. All right. So the first one up is the biggest disappointment of the month, and that is not in content, but rather in presentation, and that is Seven Sons by Robert Wyndham and Kelvin Mao with artwork done by Jay Lee. And the main reason why I got in this book was because it was Jay Lee artwork, and it was supposed, it is, hopefully. It said 232 pages on Amazon. And when I heard that and I saw that and it was $19.99, I was like, hey, so that means it's gonna be the size of that book I have on my shelf right now, right there. I can't show you it obviously, but let's say I can. No, I'm not gonna attempt to do that. But that Where We Live, Las Vegas book that I have an image, right? It's gonna be that size. It's not even close. This is like standard size trade paperback. Now, the reason for why that is because they use a different kind of paper for the trade. It's kind of like that more glossy, like not cheap, but like more wavy kind of book, kind of paper to it. Paper quality almost looks like it's water damaged. I keep thinking that it is because I don't even know why. And you also got it wavy here, which I really hate. But every time I show this book, and because I'm doing this like 50 cuts. Oh, one time when I was towards the iPad, so I'm now doing it on the iPhone, because I have like 50,000 books downloaded on there. I need to actually read them, and then then not download them, and not re-download like that. Get rid of the download. You guys know what I mean. But I had to say the big word, the actual definitive word. So all 7 issues of the series, 7 issues for Seven Sons. And I'm going to the artwork. But yeah, Jay Lee, it's his first image book, indie work, in general since 1994. Which is crazy. Crazy. I'm trying to talk over them so you hear them over me. So you hear them over me, so I hear me over them and not the other way around, them over me. So the next one up is Dead Lucky by Melissa Flores with artwork done by, I should know this, it was a weird first name, but I keep forgetting. It's Carla Mingo, but what's the first name? French, Carla Mingo. Here's the artwork for Dead Lucky. Now, main reasons why I got this, the price tag, $10, and it collects all 6, not all 6, I keep saying all 6, first 6 issues of the series. It's an ongoing, at the very least an ongoing. For now at least, an ongoing. And also it's part of the Masterverse, which is that whole Kyle Higgins thing, because he saw Invincible was popular, and it's like, I can do that too. I read Cowl. Cowl was technically part of it, and I really like that one. But yeah, Radiant Black I have the first 3 volumes of. Rogue Sign, the first volume of. Got the second one, that when that comes out. Dead Lucky, I already have. It's just the book. Inferno Girl Red, I have the first 2 issues in floppy form. Oh, and also no floppies, and all these books are from Amazon. I'm probably gonna stop getting floppies. I'm probably gonna get trades from now on. They're way too expensive for floppies. Even Inferno Girl Red, which is like 50 pages for $5.99. That's a good deal nowadays. But even then, I'm like, why? Might as well be a trade waiter now. Radiant Red I have, which that was a one and done. It was a mini series. And Cowl I do not have. I read it from my local library had it. What I'll probably get all the rest of them when Rogue Sun Volume 2 and Radiant Black Volume 4 come out, and then Inferno Girl Red. And I'll get Cowl along with it, and it'll be Kyle Higgins Collectathon. Now, technically, I do that, but I'm trying not to do that. I'll get into why that is in a little bit. But for right now, Dead Lucky, that's about it. There is a little weird kind of blemish here. I hate that. Can you see it? It's very hard. There we go. That, like, where it's... You can barely see it. It's basically like, when you kind of like, open a book too hard, and it's like... But it's not open it that hard, so where the book is. But yeah. Also, it's worth noting that Dead Lucky is 160 pages, and this is 232 pages, yet they both look like they're 160 pages. They look the exact same. Why? So my two theories for Seven Sons, I don't think I went over this already. I can't remember, because so many cuts. Is that I wonder, my two theories is that Jay Lee wanted the paper quality to be like this because his artwork stands out better. Maybe he's like, oh no, my artwork stands out better in this with this kind of paper rather than that kind of paper. And my other theory is that, did I go with the artwork for Seven Sons? I'm pretty sure I did. Just in case I didn't, I'll do it again for Seven Sons, just in case I forgot. I don't think I did. But the other theory is that they said, well, there's this other book coming out right now, around this time, the trade at least, was... Do a Power Bomb. I can't think of the word. Do a Power Bomb. That's 160 pages for 7 issues for $24.99. So I think Image Comics was like, well, we're giving them more for less. Let's at least give them less paper quality than they used to. Because again, I have that Where We Live, Las Vegas. I swear to God, it's the same amount of pages. Maybe even less. It was, and I know it was more than 200 pages, and that looks like it's a lot of pages. You know, you can tell that's thicker than your average Image Comics trade. It's worth $19.99. This is, I mean, paper. If they do have, I'm pretty sure it does have 232 pages. Yes, it is worth it because it has that many pages in it. But it's just one of those things. You know, it's a very weird nitpick of mine. I know it's like I wouldn't have batted an eye if I'd gotten it from. I would have said, oh, one more issue for $19.99. What are we, Marvel Comics? You know, so I wouldn't if I hadn't known how many pages there were in the book. So there's that too. And I'm saying if I bought it off Newbury. But anyways, next up is Bonehead by Brian Hill with artwork done by Roald Marcellanius. Again, it's a weird name. Looks like a calendar. Kind of sort. I don't know why I thought calendar. Because some they like design like that, like March, and then you have like the dates here. There's like a design here. Anyways. So this collects all 4 issues of this miniseries for $10. Because the reason, so for Dead... I keep forgetting to mention stuff, and I'm going back in time, going to Dead Lucky, then I'm on Bonehead, then I'm back on to Seven Sons. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. I need to tell myself, you don't have to mention everything about the book, because no one's gonna sift through all that. If I make this video an hour and a half, you think everyone's gonna sift through it? No, they're not. They're just gonna say, most of these people that watch my video just wanna know what the fuck I got. They don't want to know about the specifics. Some want to know what the book's about, but they don't need to know the specifics about each book. But the thing I was going to mention about Dead Lucky is that Melissa Flores isn't the best writer from what I've heard, and not the best reviews, but I got it because it was $10, and because it was Massiverse, and, you know, all that junk. So I guess I didn't want to mention that. But anyways, Bonehead is all 4 issues, and I go with the artwork. I almost forgot to do that. That's the artwork. And this, they said, based off the premise, it reminded me a lot of the movie Rollerball. Now, Rollerballs or Rollerball? Rollerball. Like that futuristic sports movie. That's exactly what this book is going to be about. I think it's like parkour skateboarding or something like that. But it sounds very interesting. It's Brian Hill. He did the Batman and the Outsiders series from DC like a few years ago. And I really liked the first few issues of that. Finally got those 3 trades because I got it was $1.99 per trade, and it's the only time I'll buy a DC trade if it's a good deal like that, because DC trades are expensive even digitally. Like they have like an oversized hardcover. It's gonna be $19.99 even if it only has 6 issues. They say, oh, it's an oversized hardcover. Yeah, you can't tell that when you're reading on an iPad or better yet, a phone. It makes no sense unless you have a little unless you have an exclusive graphic on the hardcover that you can like swipe up the hardcover. You can like look at like, you know, look at the specifics. Like it would have like a 3D model of the hardcover that I can look at, and they give you that. They give you that for free. Well, not for free, but they give that for you, and it's part of the deal. Like, oh, 1999, a 3D model of they have the hardcover looks in real life. Even then, it's like, I don't know. DC Comics is definitely the worst when it comes to digital pricing. Marvel is pretty good. I think Marvel is honestly the best. Especially when you go by issue. If there's trade out, all the issues in that trade are $1.99. So I'll have to wait to get the last issue of the Neighborhood Spider-Man when that comes out and the trade comes out. I'll get the last issue for $1.99. All set. All right, tangent over. Next one up is Virgil by Steve Orlando. It's an OGN all-in-one. No, it doesn't collect anything. It's just, yeah, it's an OGN. Steve Orlando, I'm very hit or miss. I liked Man-Thing. I did not like... I liked his Man-Thing, Curse of Man-Thing series, miniseries, 3-issue miniseries. I did not like his namesake miniseries. That was pretty bad. And here's the artwork for Virgil. But, he hasn't done a whole lot, except for... he did, yeah, actually, in general, he hasn't done a whole lot for Image Comics, and because I'm pretty, even though he's hit or miss, it's not like his trades are, like, out of print or whatever, they're pretty affordable for what they are. I'm like, why the hell not get it? And the other one I want is Commanders in Crisis. I've always been interested in that trade, because that came out at the same time as Rain Like Hammers did. I remember it was very controversial, but it was one of those things where every criticism they gave was like, so what? I'm going to judge the book by its story, not by what you think not by what you think like political shit was behind it, you know. Which, yes, if it was there, fine, but even then, you know, it's one of those things. Alright, anyways, next one up is Kaya Volume 1 by Wes Craig, collecting all, not all, the first, that's different. When I say it collects all, that means miniseries. When I say it collects the first, it means the first of this ongoing. First 5 issues of this ongoing, plus the 16-page prologue. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember if I went over artwork. I know, like, I'm doing the first page, so it's not like it's, like, okay. Oh, so Wes Craig is a triple threat. He does the artwork, writes it, and designs it, but Jason Bordy did the colors. And Wes Craig is more well known for his artwork than for being an artist and being a writer. He primarily Deadly Class. There are 2 other books he's done for Image Comics that he's written for. Not only they get pretty dismal reviews, but I also can wait. And also if I get those 2 at the same price both $16.99 for each trade. It's 2 trades and each is $16.99. For that price, I can finish off my Firepower collection for Robert Kirkman. So why get that Wes Craig book, those 2 Wes Craig books, when I can get Firepower instead, or even Commanders in Crisis and finish off my Steve Orlando haul. You know, actually, I finished my Wes Craig haul, but not technically. Even not technically for Steve Orlando, because Steve Orlando did like Action Bible. Not Action Bible, it's Loaded Bible. That's a Tim Seeley book, which Tim Seeley, I have like a fucking plague. Because I have not liked a single thing that guy has written. Next one up is Jim Lives by Paolo Barron. I have since read his Beatles one. He also did for Image Comics. It's technically a sequel to that. It's a trilogy of these kinds of books, like these kinds of what do they call it? It's historical fiction, but there was a perfect way I don't know, but historical fiction book he did for Image and come on, think, I'm losing it. The first one he did was Beatles. This one is Jim Morrison. I got this for $10. Now it is shorter than your average Image Comics trade, and they still charged you $16.99. Now, not only like this last one that was in stock at the time, but it was $10, and now it's full price. So I got the best deal on it. It was Amazon. It wasn't a third-party seller or anything. It was Amazon, shipped from and sold by. So it was perfect. And I really liked the Beatles one. So I was glad. It was after I purchased Jim Lives. This is recommended by Near My Condition. He does those hidden gems videos, and this is on his most recent one. I was like, Image Comics, why not? And but yeah, I like the Beatles one a lot. Yeah, we're getting a review of that and of The Names, which is a Peter Milligan book. He also did Discipline Volume 1. So this is Discipline Volume 1, The Seduction, collecting all 6 issues of the series. And go, well, you are from Fellow Baron, come on! Why am I so forgetful? Because I'm getting, like, too involved. I need to, like... Here's the artwork for Jim Lives. Can we all collectively pretend I haven't showed Discipline yet? Thank you. Next one up is The Discipline Volume 1, The Seduction, written by Peter Milligan. Why I got it? $10. Peter Milligan. This quote right here says, best compared to 1970s devil horror craze. Sticks with you long after you're done watching it. Perfect. That's awesome. 6 issues, 6 issue miniseries. It's not a miniseries, I don't think, because it's $10. I wouldn't have done that. It would have been $16.99 even back then, but actually, it would have been $14.99 if anything. But I got canceled. Alright, artwork. Now, I also read The Names by Peter Milligan. We're getting a review of that book. So far, it's good. I haven't finished it yet. So far, it's really damn good. I'll be getting a review of that book next week. I'll be next week's video, because I'll be hopefully going to the library next week. Hopefully. Because, alright. That's that. Okay. So I show the artwork. I'll make sure I show the artwork for each book. Yep. Okay, good. We're good so far. Alright, now this next one, I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent with this one. Because this is one of those books that I would not have gotten if the usual suspects even knew it was coming out. Now, I'm trying to become one of... Why do they come out so weird? I'm trying to be less critical, I guess you could say, about books. I'm trying to be more open. That was the word I was looking for. I'm trying to be more open about books. I'm being like, oh, well, this book is written by his author. Like Tom King is a prime example. He said really shitty things to Jay Lee, so I'm not picking up a single book he's written. I understand people that do that, and, you know, more power to you. Missing out on, well, Tom King is a bad example, but, like, what's a good example? Rick Remender, I guess? Rick Remender has probably said controversial shit in the past, and I love his books. You know, he's a damn good writer. This one, not thankfully, but it says Golden Rage Volume 1. It's all in one. It's a 5-issue miniseries, so 5 issues collected in here. By Chrissy Williams. Here's the artwork before I forget, show the artwork. Now, this is Golden Girls meets Battle Royale. When I heard that premise, I was like, sold. But there was also that part of me that's like, well, what if it's one of those kinds of books? And I'm like, it probably is. Now, that kind of stuff does not bother me. I'm talking, I'm gonna get right. I'm not gonna allude to it. I'm gonna no balls it. Political. You know, there's so many books that, like, a great example is the series called America by Gabby Riviera. An extremely racist comic. So when I hear that books are getting political, I always think it's like that, isn't it? It's like this, isn't it? It's like that or that or that. But I like Ms. Marvel. I liked a lot of books by Mark Russell. I like a lot of books that a lot of people don't like. I like Moonstruck. Moonstruck is like this. The last volume of it was the best one because the first 2 were kind of naff, and then it got somehow for volume 3 they just upped the ante completely. Because it was actually telling a story. It was actually like, you know, it seemed to be, it wasn't just written for like little kids or anything. Not little kids. It seemed to be, it was like for all ages kind of thing. Yes, but it was, I'd say teens because they had a lot of language in it. Anyways, yeah, you guys see the point. But yeah, it's one of those things, and I'm like, well, I watched Thinking Critical. Thinking Critical, I probably would not like this book. But someone like Comic Pop and Near My Condition, they probably would like this book. They probably would say, yeah, this is a good book to pick up. I feel like I need to give everyone an equal chance. I do. But it's one of those things where I'm like, well, if Comic Pop said that they really like the Tom King book that no one else likes, why pick that one up? And that's because Thinking Critical and all the other guys that don't like Tom King give damn good examples as to why those books aren't good. They give you like you almost seem like, and almost like even if you liked the book, like really liked the book, it's an eye opener. It's still an eye opener for you. So, and you hear that about the book, you're less inclined to purchase it, and that's what I feel like what happened with Golden Rage. Like later in the line, either Chrissy Williams says something really shitty on Twitter, or I mean really shitty, like Kill All White Men, like that insane crowd, and I'd be less inclined to want to buy any more books, and I'd be like, why did I buy this book, And I guess over time, and that kind of shit, yeah, I would completely understand not buying any books from that person, obviously. Or if she supported Amber Heard, I'd be like, no, not even gonna think about buying a book, no matter what it was. But I think I need to ignore that, as bad as it gets. There are still gonna be some exceptions, and if the book that I read by this person is bad, I'm not gonna peek it. I'm not gonna give him a second chance, or her a second chance, because they said something really bad on Twitter. They really bad people. They threaten people online, and the books that they write are also bad. So that's it in a nutshell. And in a nutshell, and a lot of the books I'm probably gonna end up getting for my birthday are gonna be from controversial authors like that. I've said shady things on Twitter and that not a lot of people like, but I like them, and one of those kinds of things. That will be my birthday, and that's gonna be a month and a half from now. I'll probably keep changing my mind. I have like three different comic hauls that I want to get. Comic hauls, 3 different sets of comics I want to get. I don't want to mix any sets. I get like some of these from this set, some of those from that set. No, I want to get into either comic set 1, comic set 2, or comic set 3. Not a little bit of all 3. No, it's either 1, 2, or 3. But yes, collects all 5 issues of the series. It did look interesting. Yes, I have since watched the first 2 episodes, The Golden Girls. It's pretty damn good, honestly. Like, it's definitely not targeted towards me, but it's a comfort food for me, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's English my grandmother's favorite show. I feel like it's right up her alley, so it's kind of like one of those things. It's very sentimental. Let's move on, because I'm not gonna get into sentimental hour and then Lifetime movie, like that kind of shit. All right, Hallmark specifically, Habitat more so than Lifetime. But anyways, next one up is Habitat by Simon Roy, who does the artwork too. Also the artwork and the layouts. So yes, very different kind of artwork for Habitat. Now, I'm going to do a size comparison to Golden Rage, which Golden Rage is standard size for an Image comic book. Here we go. See? Look how much bigger it is than the average comic book. And they still were like, hey, we're only charging you $10. I was like, sold. I kind of did, because especially when it's an all-in-one, like it was for Discipline, Habitat, and one you'll be seeing soon, not soon, but like, actually, it's gonna be the last one, so not soon, I tend to want to buy those, and so, this is the good example I was talking about earlier, or I was alluding to. So I'm going to try not to do the collectathons, where I'm not going to get, like, say I wouldn't have gotten Habitat if I didn't get all of what Simon Roy has done for Image Comics. I'm going to try and break that rule. I have sins for some of these we'll be seeing, but, spoilers, not for Simon Roy. But, Steve Orlando was a good example. I got Virgil, but not Commanders in Crisis Volumes 1 and 2. So, which I'll begin that later. But I don't want to feel the need to have to get all those and sacrifice something like this. Like, say if I didn't get this along with, or say if I didn't get Seven Sons, because I wanted to get Commanders in Crisis along with it, and I'd sacrifice Seven Sons. I don't want to do that. I'm glad I didn't do that. I never want to do that again. If I want to get, because it's an all-in-one, it's affordable, it's $10, might as well get, and yeah, it's kind of quantity over quality, but they are still books by authors I know and love, for the most part. Or from a series that I'm into, like Massiverse, which is technically a series. I mean, it's a series of different kind of books, it's a world, it's like the MCU, it isn't a series of movies, I mean, technically, it's like that, actually. Anyways, Habitat. And Warren Ellis said it was good too, so there you go. I just love when they say Warren Ellis, author of Gun Machine, Transmetropolitan, and Planetary. Why not anything he's done for Image Comics? This can't be that old. Next up, we have Jan's Atomic Heart. Now, I'm going to show, well, the artwork first. It's also by Simon Roy and drawn by Simon Roy. Black and white artwork. But you do, does look a little different here. And it's different stories. It is called Jan's Atomic Heart and Other Stories. Also, it's an OGN. Along with Habitat. Habitat was also an OGN. Now, the next one, I was going backwards because I put them. So when I have, like, say, like a 5-volume series like I've been seeing here, I put them backwards, but I'm stacking them to put it back on my shelf, because on the shelf it's going to be backwards. It's going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I have to put it backwards. So the next one up is Prophet Volume 1, Remission by Simon Roy and Brendan Graham, and the artwork is done by a lot of people. I'm just going to show this here. Now, I'm doing this back-to-back. I'm doing this kind of a weird way, because I want to do the... all I had to do... Actually, I couldn't have done it. So, with Jan's Atomic Heart... I mean, spoilers, I got all 5 volumes of Prophet. That was the best purchase I've made this month so far. Not so far. This month, I was saying in March. Obviously, it can't be so far because the month's ended. Probably the one of two of the best of two purchases I made. There's two purchases I made that this month I'm really proud of, and this is one of the two. That's what I'm trying to say. Now that I made 2 purchases, and I know. I need to be specific. Now you see, Jan's Atomic Heart is smaller than his Prophet trade. So Prophet Volume 1 collects 21 to 26. It's a reboot. I do still want the Liefeld books. It'd be nice if they did a Prophet by Liefeld hardcover. I would not even know. Well, hardcover and just top cover. Like they've been doing for Darkness and Witchblade and most recently Cyberforce. They should do that with Prophet by Rob Liefeld. And all the 90s books. Do that. Like, I'll buy it. I don't care that it's a series that no one likes. I have a soft spot for 90s comics, especially Image. Because most of them I like Union. But honestly, someone like your boy Zach likes them. Even your boy Zach doesn't even like Spawn. So, I guess it's the underrated gem more than anything. Prophet Volume 1 Remission. I didn't go with the artwork, did I? I didn't go with the artwork. So Prophet Volume 1 Remission, collecting Prophet 21-26, and there's the artwork. Now I have read Prophet. I read Prophet a while back at my local library. They had the first volume. The second one was on Interloans. I was like, oh, they must have the full series on Interloans. They didn't. And that was a long time ago too. It's like at least 3 years ago, I want to say. No, sorry, at least 2 years ago, I want to say. I was saying the most. Yeah, a long time ago. Alright. Then Prophet Volume... Wait, I'm going to go for Volume 2. Where's Volume 2? Right here. Prophet Volume 2, Brothers, collecting Prophet 27 to 31, and it skips to 32. My theory is that that issue 33 was a... let me click the artwork. That issue 33 was a one-shot kind of story, or a flashback, along with issue 32, I guess. Because Prophet Volume 3, Empire, collects issue Prophet 32, and then 34 to 38. And also, keep in mind, so far, all these are T plus or T plus. Keep that in mind. Remember that. Prophet Volume 4, joining the thickest trade that Prophet, and it's damn good price too, $17.99, and you get Prophet 39 to 45, and then Prophet Strike File issues 1 and 2. Which I'm so glad they had in that, because according to Amazon, they don't have that included. Amazon solicits are so wrong. So half the time, it's like, no, you could not be more wrong. But they're right most of the time too. Then we got Prophet Volume 5, Earth War, collecting the 6th issue Earth War series. And look at that, rated M mature. I honestly wonder if it's not the fact that it gets more violent and vulgar. I wonder if it's just Image Comics being like, we've changed our standards. We've been forced to change our standards. And sorry, what was that? So if this was originally, yes, this was originally Teen Plus, but now it's gonna be I can't do the math. I was gonna add up how many issues of profit you get, but I kind of can't. It's at least 20. A little over 20. Yeah, 20, 21, 22, like 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roughly like 30 issues, almost. Then we got the second best purchase I've made this month, and that was completing my Garth Ennis Image Comics haul. I have The Darkness. I do not have Witchblade. He did a Witchblade Spawn Witchblade book, but like with Sean Lewis, I don't include the Spawn books that an Image Comics writer has done. So I'm not gonna include Spawn for this one either, for Garth Ennis either. And you can't even get medieval Spawn Witchblade. You can get the most recent follow-up. You can get the original. First up, we have The Pro, written by Garth Ennis, and... Okay, I was going to try to edit the artwork, but I confused myself because I didn't show the artwork for Prophet Volume 1. Because that's been one exception, is if it's a 5-issue series or if it's more than one volume, I show it for the first page of Volume 1, the first few pages for Volume 1. Not for Volume 2. Even if the artwork changes. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. You know, I want to do the minimal. So anyways... The Pro is an OGN, written by Ennis, artwork done by Amanda Connor, and written by Garth Ennis, artwork done by Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti. It's an OGN all-in-one, thinnest Image Comics trade to date that I own. And here is the artwork. I love how this looks like 64 pages compared to 50 pages compared to Habitat, which is 80 pages. Which technically speaking, is only like 8 pages more than the Pro is. Then we've got Pride and Joy, which collects all 4 issues of this miniseries. The artwork, almost tried to do that. I did it for the Pro, right? Why the fuck I didn't do it for the Pro? Here's the artwork for the Pro. I don't know why I fucking didn't do it. I think I did. I was so caught up on how thin the book was. There's the artwork for Pride and Joy, all 4 issues of that miniseries. Oh, and sorry, John Higgins is the artwork. Again, I'm only going to do the first 2 names. I'm not going to do colorist, inker, penciler, masturbator. No, I'm just going to do artist. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be here all day naming off names. Back to Brooklyn, Garth Ennis and Jimmy Palmiotti write it, and Mikhailo Volkov does the artwork. See, this is the one that's perfect. It's just those 3 people. No inkers, no nothing. It's all one guy, right? Yes. Oh, the story was by Jimmy Palmiotti and Garth Ennis, but Garth Ennis writes it. Good, because the last 2 Jimmy Palmiotti books I've read, the Jetson one and the Hype one, which that's a freebie I got from the library. It was one of those, like, oh, it came in late, but I got to get it afterwards, along with the Beatles one. I didn't like the Hype or Jetsons. So, I'm glad that this one is written by Garth Ennis, and Jimmy Palmiotti is only credited as telling the story. I did like the Harley Quinn series they did, but it's just one of those things, you know? So, I do still like Jimmy Palmiotti as a writer, don't get me wrong, but... And actually, he did do the Punisher series, Marvel Knights Punisher series. So I'm omnibus out right now. I'm going through my omnibus pile right now, or I was. I'm gonna stack them by books I want to read more. I'll be more inclined to read rather than like, oh, there's only a few of Fantastic Fours, so I don't want to. But I'm like, no, you're gonna do it by it's all John Byrne's run. If you only have one book, I'm over-explaining. 1 through 5 are Back to Brooklyn. I've been doing a lot of that AI thing, the open AI, and I've been asking it, hey, this book I bought recently, or is the movie similar to this? And they said Back to Brooklyn, one of the movies that was similar with characters and setting was with the feel of it was this movie called Road to Perdition, which I highly recommend. It was a damn good movie. Now, they weren't saying it was a carbon copy of Back to Brooklyn. They were saying it was like the same kind of characters, same kind of like setting, kind of feel of it. Not the same plot. But here is the artwork for Back to Brooklyn. Of course, the sun is deciding to glare on it. Glare on it. Next up, we have the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund presents Liberté. Now, honestly, here, I'm looking at this book. How many pages is this book? Right here. This is looks to be about the same size of Seven Sons. Now, I'm going to go on a little tangent here. So, the main reason why I got, because I'm going to look up how many pages CBLDF has. Why is my laptop does this? It's like, oh, I'm on. No, I'm not. It's just like this weird glitch. I have to close the laptop, wait a few minutes, and then it's like, oh, now I'm off. I was off this whole time. Ha 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 ha. It's like, shut up, stupid fucking laptop. I hate Dell, so I hate all technology, honestly. There is no good, not even Apple is good, not even Samsung is, Samsung I heard is pretty good, but there's no perfect. So yes, anyways, Liberty. So the main reason why I got it was because, so here's all the writers and artists who are on this book. Now, I got it from the Garth Ennis story. Now, if you saw my September haul, I believe it was, you would know that I got The Boys, all the omnibuses, and then the Dear Becky follow-up. Well, the only Garth Ennis book that's in Liberty is The Boys storyline, which is included in the first omnibus. When I found that out, I almost canceled this, I probably should have, I almost canceled this, order. I didn't do it because this is one of the ones I got from that third-party seller, Why Pay More Online, which 2 thumbs up to them, they're perfect. They take damn good care of your packages, and they are faster than, they are pretty fast shipping. Not faster than Amazon, technically. It's not 2-day shipping, but it's a lot faster than cheap graphic novels and a lot better. Because they probably would, I never had to ask many questions, but they're probably pretty quick in answering questions. They went to wait 10 years. Because, what the heck? Why be off? What's going on? I plugged you in. You're plugged in. Your medicine, oh my god. This laptop, man. Alright, I can't look up how many pages Liberty has. I can't do it on the iPad because it's propping up the phone. I'll do it in a second. My laptop's acting up. I want to almost say it's the same. Actually, I think it's 208 pages. So maybe I am kind of overthinking the loss of the size comparison to Seven Sons. My point is maybe I'm overthinking the Seven Sons thing. But again, it's like I'm not the same size. But again, it's one of those things where like, well, where we live, that was a pretty thick trade. Why isn't, the other one the same size? Why isn't, I don't know. It's wavy. It's just one of those things. It's maybe angry. Anyways, Bloody Mary. I'm starting to lose my voice. Bloody Mary. So I have a throat feeling. Bloody Mary by Garth Ennis with artwork done by Carlos Esquerra. You can tell, especially back here, that he's very influenced by Steve Dillon, which it seems to be a pattern with Garth Ennis books. Because Night Witches, there's a few instances, a few shots in that book that I'm like, that's right, Stephen Dillon-y. Even though I can tell it's not done by Steve Dillon, that's right, Steve Dillon-y. And I wonder if Garth Ennis, he only hires people who have... No, because The Boys was... I don't know. No, The Boys, I could argue with kind of Steve Dillon-y. Because Steve Dillon and Garth Ennis were, brothers, basically. They got... From what I've been told, they were, unstoppable. When you heard that Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon were on a series, you knew for a fact that series was going to kick ass and take names. So this one collects Bloody Mary 1-4 and Bloody Mary 2, 1-4. I'm just going to say Bloody Mary 2. Technically, it's Revenge of the Father, but I'm going to say it's Bloody Mary 2. It was only 2 Bloody Mary series from Garth Ennis. Finally, I said Bloody Mary a lot of times. Good thing I wasn't looking in the mirror. Ha 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 ha. Finally, we have... Finally. The last Garth Ennis book. The last book... I'll go back to back. No, I shouldn't, because I got to say about the last one. Alright. Garth Ennis and Carlos Esquerra's Adventures in the Rifle Brigade. Same artist, I just found it out last cut. Same artist as did Bloody Mary. There's the artwork for this. I show the artwork for Bloody Mary? I don't think I did. I did it in the back, so I guess it counts, but I did not. Here's the artwork for Bloody Mary. And specifically, CBLDF, the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund, Liberty One, Pride and Joy, and Adventures in the Rifle Brigade were the 3 that I got on White Pay More Online, if you want to know specifics. I just realized I had checklists, but it's on my notes on my phone. I'm pretty sure I mentioned everything. I did basics, so I'm trying to, like... That's 40 minutes. And finally, we have Butcher Baker, The Righteous Maker. All 8 issues of the series written by Joe Casey. This is another one where I was like, well, it's a good deal. Why wait even longer? Because I was going to be like, I was going to originally get all the get the rest of the Joe Casey books that I needed. But he's written so much of the artwork in this book. And the artwork is done by Mike Huddleston. So I was going to get all the rest of the Joe Casey books I needed. And I was like, no, if it's proof... If it's $10, why not get it? Why wait? Because not only was there 3 left in stock, but it was a third-party seller, Perfume Online. Now they were it was still Prime delivery, so it was still confirmed. Like it was a third-party, like White Pay More Online is a third-party seller. You don't get it from Amazon. You get it from White Pay More Online. It's not fulfilled by Amazon. I don't think at least. But Perfume Online was free Prime delivery, basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So, not just free standard delivery. That was what I meant to say. There you go. That was the specifics. But anyways, so I got this third-party seller, yes, called Perfume Online. You would never think you get a comic book from Perfume Online. I got it for $10. This thick hardcover for $10. Why the fuck did I ever say, I have to wait till I got all the Joe Casey's, and if I don't get all the Joe Casey's with this, like, what, it was the same thing from that Mixed Flick book. I'm just gonna call it that. It's a Roman numeral book, and it's a Roman numeral 1975. That book from Image Comics. That was also $10, all in one. And actually, it was $10 list price. What was stopping me from doing the same for this guy? I can't tell you. Because this is not... The list price for this book is $24.99. I got it over half off. Like, I don't understand myself. And if it was like... If this was Volume 1, fine. And the other reason why I got this was because it's very similar to the boys' Butcher Baker... the candlestick maker. And I just always instinctively thought that it was the Butcher Baker was a character, and he appeared both in the boys and in this book. So I was like, oh, I had to get this book to complete the boys collection. And I always was like, come on. One is from Image Comics and one's from Dynamite Comics. You really think that happened and you wouldn't already know about it? Why would it not be with like Garth Ennis? You know, that's another reason why I was kind of like, yeah, I'll wait till I get the rest of Joe Casey's books. But like, come on, man. This is the hardcover. Why I waited so long, I don't know. But I got it. One of the last in stock. And that, as I say, is that. Now, I can't check my notes because it's not, I'm pretty sure I mentioned everything. I mean, if I didn't mention it here, I mentioned it on the other thing. That's it. On like the comic calls. The only really other thing I forgot to mention was, the Discipline. The main complaints they had was that it was basically a porn comic, but I was like, yeah, I shouldn't get that either. That's not what I want out of a comic book. If I want a porn comic, I'll go online, and not for free. And, it's usually not random characters, it's characters I know from, like, TV shows and movies and all that kind of thing, because it's, like, fakes and, like, artworks, as cartoons. Alright, let's move on from that, but you get it, yeah, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna get it, but then it was Peter Milligan, and it was $10, I was like, no, I'm gonna get it. But that, as I say, is that. 22 books. Pretty big stack. Probably so far, it's the best I've done, this year. January is still hopefully January will always stay the least amount of books I'll get per month for 1 month. Mainly because of the fact that I hate that happened. That sounds so fucking weird. No, I hate that that's the way it went. No. But I also think to myself, well, think of it as like movies. The worst movies, as a huge ass stereotype, but most terrible movies come out in January. So, the worst you did for Comic Con was in January. So, it's like one of those kind of things. Ha ha ha, very funny. But at the end of the day, it's whatever. So be it. I don't have to get 5,000 books per month. Every month. And I think it was kind of a given that I wouldn't do as good in January because of how well I did in December. December is still, I'm going to try and break that, hopefully I will break that high score. In May, my birthday, I'll break that high score of 57. No, not 50. I don't know why I keep thinking 57, 54. 54. I keep doing this, but, like, I'm just, like, I've been staring at the phone for so long, doing this for so long, so many cuts. I've basically been doing this all day, from, 2 o'clock to now. I've taken some breaks, and then I took a break, I went on YouTube. So, there you go. Yeah, I wish there was a way I could, press the home button, check my notes, and then come here, oh yeah, I have to mention this. I hope I didn't mention anything that's, too drastic. That's it.